You're listening to Staying Wild, the podcast where we ditch burnout and build outrageous success and lives the wild way. I'm Adelaide, the high-performance coach James Bond would secretly hire if pink was his vibe. I've helped over 500 high achievers land promotions, smash personal bests, pivot careers, achieve their full potential, and actually love their lives. Yes, I have. All in under a year. No fluff, just deep mindset work, potent energy, and breakthroughs worth popping champagne over. Now it's time to join me and Wolfie on the wild side with today's episode. Hello, on this week's podcast, I have two very exciting things for you. One is a visualization. So we're not doing a masterclass, we're doing a visualization. It's a mindset reset. So not only are we calming and relaxing ourselves, but we are grounding and rooting into who we are and our power. This is one of my one-to-one clients' absolute favorite kind of visualizations. It's about 15-20 minutes. So carve out that time during your day or before you start your day and enjoy. And second, we have a conversation with Henry, who is one of the co-founders of Mountain Memories, an incredible Japanese ski retreat adventure community. It is just so fabulous, and their story to getting there is absolutely crazy and incredible, and really a story of trust, surrender, and just saying yes, going for it, all in on your dreams. And it's worked out for them, and they've done it in a very thoughtful, intentional, purposeful, and skillful way, while still going into that unknown. So it is such a treat. I hope you enjoy this week's episode of Staying Wild.
Welcome to a guided visualization to help you tune into yourself, tune into your power, allow that force to ground you and to move through your day, embodying your best self. I've recorded quite a lot of these for my one-to-one clients and also for those doing the Rise of the Wild Woman or my online programs. And I just absolutely love them, because if you're feeling stressed, you're in chaos, you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, this is such a beautiful visualization to do, to kind of whoosh down, to feel calm, to feel relaxed, but to also tune in to your power. Often when we're doing stress, anxiety, overwhelm, we're overthinking, we're just in that chaos, that busyness, we're second guessing, we're doubting. We are giving our power away. We forget to have boundaries. And we say yes, 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 yes. Even though you want to say, actually, no, I don't want to do that, or I'm going to delegate that, or whatever it may be. So this is such a perfect one to do when not only do you want to feel calm and relaxed, you want to cut through all that BS, but you actually really want to ground yourself into you and your power so you can embody that beautiful, fierce version of yourself, but in this soft and flowing way. What's interesting is I hear people like, oh, I don't like meditation, I can't meditate, I can't sit still, it's too uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. I have clients who have aphantasia when you can't visualize, and they still love this. So if you can't visualize, don't worry, just listen, see what comes up. Allow those feelings that aren't helping you to melt away, and allow those feelings that will enhance your life and enhance who you are to flow in, and just see what happens. I also always encourage all of my clients to be comfortable when they're doing a visualization. Sit in a sofa, you can lie down, you can even be out for a walk or just lying in nature, sunbathing on the beach. You don't have to be in that monk's position when you want to tune into yourself, when you want to enhance those relaxing and calming feelings. If you do want to feel power though, you can also do this standing up, because our physical body helps us enter different feelings. You might notice when you're walking, you're feeling stressed. Maybe your shoulders are hunched or tight, your neck's feeling tight, or you're walking really quickly. And if you were just to roll your shoulders back, expand and open up your diaphragm, relax your belly, look up, breathe in deeply and walk slowly, You'll be entering a different state, and the state is just a collection of feelings. So have a notice that when you are going to enter a visualization, or when you are going to enter a meeting or enter the gym, whatever it may be that you're about to do, check your body. Is it in a position where it is encouraging the feelings you want to feel? For this visualization, we want to tune into ourselves. And I feel lying down or just sitting somewhere comfy could be really cozy and wonderful. So just pause the video or pause the podcast. Allow yourself to get into that position, and then let's begin. Close your eyes gently. Have your hands relaxed beside you or on your lap. Palms open. We're here to receive those wonderful life-enhancing feelings. And just breathe in deeply, feeling your lungs expand, your belly expands as you breathe in this new fresh air into your body. And then slowly exhale through your mouth, allowing your body to relax. Breathing in slowly, calmly, feeling that expansion, that space being created. And then breathe out through your mouth, releasing anything that no longer serves you. Breathe in that new energy, calmness. Exhale anything you want to let go, blow it away. Breathe in this wonderful energy, this newness, this calmness. Maybe you see it as a color. You see yourself breathing in blue or gold. Allowing that color, this new energy, into your lungs, into your belly. Breathe in this energy into your feet, into your hands, into your head. And breathe out again, blow away anything that no longer serves you. Maybe you're blowing it out in grays or something else, smoke, whatever it may be. Blow it away. As you breathe in this new energy, new calmness, new power, in that special color of yours, breathe it in from your head, into your eyes, into your throat, into your shoulders, allowing them to move, to drop back. Relax. Breathe in down your arms into your fingertips. Breathe in this energy into your lungs, into your womb, into your belly, allowing everything to expand. Make space. Feel how delicious that feels. Continue to breathe in this new energy into your legs, into your muscles, into your knees, into your feet. And as you do this, you're just breathing out naturally anything that no longer serves you. Through your mouth, anything that needs releasing. Maybe you can even sigh through your mouth. I hope you're releasing like I am. Yawning is a great sign of things letting go, things shifting, things releasing. Feel that color that you've just breathed into yourself, flowing all around you. how wonderful that feels. Calming, expansive, light. And as if this clearing and expansion has opened a new door to your heart, allow yourself to walk through into golden light. You find yourself in your heart space, and just take in this beautiful space filled with flowers, bird song, beauty. Notice how warm, safe, and cozy you feel here. Maybe you can even feel your heart starting to slow. Here we lead and follow our love, our light. We are soul-led and soul-lit from our heart, allowing the love we have for ourselves and our life to guide us. And maybe when we can't love ourselves in the best way possible, we know that we come to our heart, we come into ourselves, depending what you believe. We have friends and family, or we have Source loving us in the way that we need to love ourselves. As you're standing in your heart space, notice this pink glowing light starting from within you. You're giving yourself the love you are worthy of, the love you deserve, because you are love, you are loving, and you are lovable. You are love. And let this pinkish light expand from your heart and wrap all around you, giving yourself this loving hug. Feel the coziness, because you have done such a great job to get here, to get to where you are today. Love yourself for that. Love yourself even when you've made decisions you feel were wrong or not very good. Love yourself for when you feel you didn't respond in the best way or react in the best way. Love yourself even though you feel maybe that you're not where you should be or you're not good enough. Love yourself for all of those things that we judge and critique ourselves for. Love ourselves for all of it. Love yourself for who you are and who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. Love yourself for all of it, because it is in and through love we transform, that we show up and embody our best selves. And it is through and in love that we can radiate our love, our light, our energy out into the world and attract those opportunities and attract our soul family or clients, colleagues, those who we just light up by working with. Feel that coziness, that love wrapping all around you, giving you a squeeze, flowing into every cell, every fiber. giving yourself the gift of incredible, beautiful love. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Sit with that, allow it as you give yourself the love. Allow those kind of intriguing, interesting feelings to transmute, to melt away, to transform with love that you're giving yourself. And as you're nourishing yourself with this love, your soul is becoming brighter. You're becoming brighter. And just see how this then expands out into the world. It's flowing out, giving love to the people you love, giving love to potential opportunities, potential adventures, maybe to new connections as well, drawing those in. Allow yourself to be guided by your love. Notice where it goes and how intriguing and curious that is. And now where I want us to go and where I feel we're being guided is into the womb, into this place where our intuition lies. Interestingly, I can just feel this white sand between our toes. Almost a sense of relief as we feel grounded. The earth is giving us love. Up through our feet, into our whole body, into our soul. And as we're standing there on this beautiful white sandy beach, we can see that crystal clear, beautiful water of blues and greens. We can hear the waves gently coming onto the beach, lulling us into a whole new sense of relaxation. As you breathe in that salty air, just notice how everything just feels like it's dropping, melting away, relaxed, calm. As we're standing there on that sand, we're also feeling a sense of tallness, of power, our inner power. Our spine is straightening, our shoulders becoming stronger. We feel the body just filling with power, our self-power, our feminine wildness and fierceness, balancing with that masculinity, the softness within the container, that go, go, go balanced with going with the flow, the hardness with the softness, the power and the fierceness. Feel what that feels like, having it vibrate and resonate through your mind, through your body, through every cell and fiber. Notice what color it takes on and how that color is flowing through the body and also down into your feet and growing roots into the ground. So you're starting to feel really stable and safe in your power. You're feeling strong. Maybe a new energy is taking on. We're feeling calm, yes, but rooted, grounded in this sense of strength, of boldness. Feel what that feels like. Follow those feelings with curiosity. You're just feeling that power, a new new form of energy being created. And just know that whenever you want to feel this sense of power, this clarity in yourself, this connection to who you are on this soul level, you can come to this beach anytime you want. You can flow into your heart space and give yourself love anytime you want. Outside of this visualization. If it feels good for you, you can even place your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your belly, connecting with your heartbeat, connecting with that room space more than anything. Feeling what that feels like, taking on this new energy, this new power, connecting with yourself deeply. Breathing all that in. Maybe you're starting to sit up in your seat. You're standing with more firmness, boldness, bravery, courage. As I said, that sense of calm and relaxation, but that comes with power, with groundedness. You feel those roots from your feet, from yourself, really anchoring yourself into Gaia, into Mother Nature, into yourself. You're standing tall. Your eyes can remain closed, but your head is looking upwards. You have this new knowing of who you are. And let's take this with us, this power, this firmness, this boldness into the rest of your day. And you can even imagine what it's like going through the rest of your day with this new feeling, this new energy, this new power that's going to become like second nature to you. How will it be like to go through your day like this? What do you see that changes? What transforms? How do you respond in different situations that may or may not arise? What's it like to go through your day? What's your body posture like? How do you move with this sense of power, with this sense of self? How do you take meetings, phone calls? How do you send your emails? Is it any different? Do you actually go to the gym or show up in your sport? Whereas before maybe that, I'm a bit tired, but now you're like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna go out and just live my life the rest of today exactly how I want, with this new sense of grounded, rooted and anchored in who I am and in my power. Feel what that feels like. And when you are ready, open your eyes and move forward into the rest of your day with that sense of power. If you need a little boost, you want to reconnect, feel your feet being rooted and grounded in, feel that color flowing all around you, or get into that body posture, into that body space. Hand on the heart, hand on the womb. I am powerful. I am fierce. I am, say your name. I am worthy. I am deserving of love. I am power. I am myself. I am, say my name. Let's go live powerfully.
Hello, Henry. It is wonderful to have you join me on the Staying Wild podcast, all the way from Japan.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
I cannot wait to dive into mountain memories and what you have created in Japan, and also like how the hell you landed in Japan in the first place. Could you tell us more about your journey to creating mountain memories and what drew you to Japan in the first place?
Yeah. I mean, I still can't believe I'm in Japan, but for me, it's been a long journey now. So I first came 14 years ago, and it was just, I'm a Canadian. I grew up in Bali. I moved to there when I was 3, so I don't really have any attachment to like Canada. But when I turned 10, my dad was always trying to get me back to the mountains. And one Christmas, he was like, I'm taking Henry. I want him to experience some snow. So he took me out, but going all the way back to Canada was like so long, so expensive. And that's when he stumbled upon Japan, actually on just like a Facebook thread that he heard there was some good snow. And he was like, it's pretty close, it's pretty cheap, let's go out there. And so he came out that first season with me, and we came out with another family, and it was just such a magical experience. And I was instantly in love. It was like the Canadian within me had just finally found his place, because I spent, 15 years in Bali and I never once surfed. Like I was just not an island kid. So coming to Japan was like really, I just instantly felt at home, at peace, and I loved it so much. And then I would come back every year on family holidays. My dad bought a house here because he was just blown away by the Japan real estate prices. Like from a Canadian mindset, the fact that you can get a house here next to the mountains for like 50 grand was just mental to him. It's so cheap. Everyone should come to Japan. So I got pretty accustomed with it. And then after graduating, I met my business partner in high school in Bali. And we both just like instantly clicked on like business ideas and creation, and always like focused on adventure. And then that was when we both said, okay, after we graduate, we're going to go out to Japan. We're going to do a season. And then after our first season, we'll go become proper adults. And the adulting, I guess, still hasn't quite happened yet.
What a cool place to grow up in Bali, but then always have your heart and soul in the mountains.
Yeah, it was very surreal.
That's something I can relate to, because everyone always asks me, and I guess you get the same question, like, how did you end up in Norway? And it's because, a bit like your experience, I just arrived here and it felt like home. I had that magical feeling that I guess you felt in Japan as well.
Just, yeah, the feeling of home is so strange, because people always ask me growing up, like, where is home for you? And I never knew if I was meant to say, like, when I was really young, I said Canada, even though I didn't even know what Canada was like. And then in Bali, you always feel like an outsider. And here, I can't speak the language. I can't do anything. But like a month in, I was like, I'm home. This is it.
That's absolutely amazing. Are you a skier or a snowboarder?
I'm a snowboarder at heart. So I grew up snowboarding, did that for ages. And then these last few years, when it became like a job and I started instructing, I kind of lost my love for it. So this year I hopped on skis and I had an absolute blast. So now I think I'm finally at the point where I can almost say I do both, but definitely a snowboarder at my core.
Oh, cool. It's interesting with the whole split boarder, snowboarder, skier. It's like a fun relationship that everyone like teases each other about if you're a skier or a split boarder.
I think it's weird seeing Europeans and Americans come over and bring that like culture of like, oh, you guys, because in Japan, it's, I think, the only place in the world where it's almost all snowboarders. Just due to like the ridiculous powder conditions, you get like 70 to 80% snowboarders on most of the mountains.
Oh, the Japanese are primarily snowboarders then?
Yeah, they dominate the Olympics now for like half pipe and slopestyle and snowboarding.
I had no idea. That's fascinating. So then when you did you say a gap year with your now business partner?
Yeah, so I guess you could kind of call it a gap year. I grew up growing up in Bali, like no one works a stereotypical job because you can't get one. So I was surrounded by entrepreneurs, and I just like didn't really realize there was another path. It wasn't like, am I going to start a business? It was like, what business am I going to start? Which is a pretty wild experience to have. And then with Noah, he came in later. So he got to Bali when he was 16. He'd done his GCSEs. He'd gone the normal route. And it was like a real wide-eyed opener to him. He's like, whoa, I can do anything. And I was like, yeah, bro, we can do anything. And then we took that energy. And after graduating, I actually went back to Canada. And I was like, I guess I got to get a normal job and do the normal thing for a while, because that was just the easiest path. And I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. And he ended up mentoring a bunch of young boys in a company called The Road that he helped found, which takes like boys from 14 to 18, gives them adventurous experiences and also like kind of men's circles to like really just take them through that challenging period of life. And then we kind of kept pushing back the Japan dream, pushing it back. And 1 year after graduation, we were finally like, we got to do this now. It's now or never. We can take 3 months. We both saved up just enough money. Turned out not to be enough money, but it was an epic first season.
So then how did you go from your first season in Japan to now creating and running Mountain Memories?
Yeah, I guess our first season, it was like the focus was completely on snow and play. And we got really lucky. It was coming out of COVID. We got to stay at my dad's house, which is normally like a vacation rental and it doesn't have much availability. But coming off the pandemic, Airbnb was still closed. So we got really lucky in that we got to stay there. And my dad had groups of friends coming to stay. So we played as like chalet boys, kind of. And we were like doing the dishes, making little foods. We started making videos of people, which is where the name Mountain Memories comes from. And we just fell in love with that like shared energy, everyone riding together, eating together. And we were like, this place is dope. We have to come back. but we knew that next year it wasn't going to be the same. We weren't going to have a place to stay. So a place to stay was the main concern. And then it was also like, we didn't want to just come back and work jobs. And we weren't into partying, we weren't into drinking, any of that. We really loved the like shared experience. We'd been with a group of like primarily 35 to kind of 50 demographic. We were really comfortable like in that setting, and we found ourselves really drawn to like all the experiences and the stories and the learning that comes from like surrounding yourself with older people. So for us, it was always about like, how do we create this space we love? And initially the dream was like, we're going to get a little garage and we're going to put 4 bunks in it, charge $25 per bunk. And like, maybe that'll get us through the season. And then we'll just try to like make cool connections here. And 3 days before leaving Japan that first year, we got a call from, we call him Rob, the unreliable realtor, because he's just like an absolute mess of a realtor, but he's amazing. He's just like incredibly inconsistent with what's actually on offer. And I think it's just because the Japan system is very hard. He calls us and he's like, I have a place you boys should check out. And we're like, okay, Rob, like we'll come see it. But we had no money and like no idea how we were going to make anything happen. It was just kind of a wild pipe dream. And then we went to see the farm, and this farm is like the just most beautiful, perfect property. It's the first farm as you drive out of Rusutsu, like 4 minutes to the mountains. You couldn't really get any closer. And we looked at it and we were like, okay, this is beautiful. This is a fun place to look around, but we'll never be able to afford it. And then after touring it, we were like, so why are you guys selling? And it turns out they'd been running it as a farm since they got moved here during the war when they're like home. So they'd been running as a farm for 80 years, and their son didn't want to take it over. He'd just gone to uni in Tokyo, and he'd come back to tell his family like, sorry guys, I don't want to do the whole farming thing. So they were like, I guess it's time for us to retire and close up shop. And it meant that they were trying to sell it like really quickly, and they just put it on the market the night before. And we were like, okay, I guess we'll take it. But the only reason we were able to say yes was because they wanted to do one more farming season to like sort out all their stuff, sell their equipment. So this was April 1st, and we had until November 22nd to get the money together. And then that started kind of the craziest time of my life, which was just crowdfunding like mad.
Oh my God, I absolutely love that you went just like, we're taking it. Like you just followed your heart. You're sort of like diving in, because most people wouldn't do that. What do you think gave you the ability or the thought process with you and your friend just to go, we don't have the money, but we're going to get it. So let's just say yes. And we know, or we trust that it will just fall into place. How were you able to make that decision?
I think it came from a really blessed childhood of both my parents, like having taken big risks when it came to moving to Bali. They like sold their house back in Canada. And my mom just like didn't really have any skills or a profession or a degree. And she got to Bali and she's like, I just want to build a house. So she started building a house. And then from there, she ended up building a bunch of villas, became an interior designer. My dad started all these little companies, and I always saw them do this. And there was never, it was just like, what do they want to create? And then they would go out there and create it. And sometimes it would be well received, sometimes it wouldn't. But that gave me the confidence to really be like, when I saw this place, I knew it would be perfect. And it was just a matter of how we get there. And then they needed a 10% deposit at the time. And I spoke to my dad about it, and I got super lucky that we had him in our corner, because he was like, I can cover the 10% deposit, but I need you boys to come up with the rest, because I can't help you with any more than that. And we were like, okay, we can do it. And we knew that because it was such a crazy deal, if for any reason we didn't manage to like pull the money together, we had some investors lined up that were ready to just like sell it and try to flip it. And we were like, we can do some renos and run it like that. So that was our fallback strategy, which I'm so glad we didn't have to fall back on, because it turns out in the end, those theoretical, we were telling everyone about these investors that like we had, they didn't exist.
Okay, so you guys just followed your heart and were like, we're going to do this. So then you mentioned you did crowdfunding.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I think, the most pivotal moment in our journey was the first few months, we went all the stereotypical channels. So first it was like, let's try to get a mortgage. Turns out foreigners in Japan cannot get mortgages. And we were like, okay, that's a hurdle. International financing was out of the question just because it was so expensive. And then we were like, okay, well, maybe like a timeshare model. Maybe we can get some investors involved and like draw up a business plan. And we were doing that, and we managed to find some people interested. But me and Noah were like, we're basically making a job for ourselves. Like, we're going to sell all the equity in our dream property only to work for other people to try to like keep the books looking good so that other people can make money. And we were like, this doesn't really serve the whole purpose of us wanting to like be the creators of something. So that's when one morning, Noah's in London, like working his butt off. I'm in Bali just having like meetings with everyone. And I remember we were on a call. We were just like, what about crowdfunding? I think we mentioned Kickstarter. And that was when just a light bulb went off. And pretty much from that moment that we said it, we didn't know what it would look like, but we knew like, yeah, we're on to something. Because we knew we had a community that loved the project, loved the area, and wanted to support. So it was just how we find all of the people with the love and the trust and the money to come together and create something.
That's so cool. And for those, I know a little bit about Kickstarter, but not huge amounts, because I've seen it with some people where they give away things when you give certain amounts of money. How did you guys set up your Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah, so we never actually used Kickstarter. We did like all word of mouth, all meetings, a couple talks, but we really wanted it to be a equal value exchange. I think fairness for me is like incredibly important, and I wanted everything we did to feel right. I didn't want to just be taking people's money or trying to like scam people out of anything. So we sold packages. We believed so strongly in what we were creating that we pre-sold packages. So for 1,000 US, you could get 10 nights stay with all of your rental gear included, basically like a ready-made holiday and 0.1% equity in the farm. And we were like, we are geniuses. We combined equity, we combined this trip. And then the kicker, this was like 2023. I don't know how much you know about NFTs, but we were like, we're going to combine NFTs into this, and like the value could go to the moon. Turns out we were incredibly young and naive, but the 10-day trip is what everyone ended up loving. And now the equity is something that I'm still battling with lawyers on how we figure that all out, because it's not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I love that. So smart. Just you're going to build a holiday location. Like, of course, you could pre-sell.
Yeah.
What's standing out for me is you're mentioning quite core values that you have, like fairness, creativity, freedom, because I'm guessing you guys want to work for yourself and do things on your own terms. Have you ever thought about the values, or are you going really with what feels good for both of you together and as individuals?
Yeah, I mean, that is a super pertinent question to right now, because at this time of the season, it's when we like sit and reflect and kind of figure out how we want to move forward. And when we first went into it, there was just like so much trust and love between Noah and I that it was never even like a question. We didn't have to figure out equity splits between us. We didn't have to like question how much effort the other one was putting in. It was just both of us loved the project so much. And I think at the time we both would, I mean, we still do. Like, he is the person I am most impressed by at the end of every day. He's just so incredible in every facet of what he does. So getting to work with him for 2 years was so special. After our first season, which was just like complete chaos, we sat down and we're like, okay, this is a real thing. We have just enough money to like keep it all going. Let's write down all of our values. So we put our core 5 values like personally, and then we the 5 values that we believe the business must hold. And we ranked them, because what we found ourselves running into was you can't always feed all 5 values. Like, nothing can possibly make all of them happy. So anytime we would come to a hard decision, we would look at our rankings and we would be like, I mean, in this case, like loyalty, for instance, ranks above equality, or some way that our values were ranked. And that was really helpful in getting through those hard situations. When a decision came up that we didn't agree with, we knew we had to go and workshop our values. And right now, I'd say the values that stand out are like community is incredibly important, and providing a space where others can like chase their dreams as well. So we've got like our internship program that we're really proud of. We call it our Inspire program. And the idea behind it is all of our staff that come are on work for stay programs, but the dream is that they'll stay on and end up creating something for themselves out here if they really do love it. And if not, we want to give them like all the tools to be successful in whatever they do next.
Wow. It usually takes people like many years to figure out, oh, actually, I need to live my life intentionally according to my values, and then to identify them. But you guys did that really early on, which is very impressive. And the fact that when you come across a challenging decision and go and workshop it against those values, yeah, that's very impressive. Had you seen someone do that before, or was this just intuitive?
I think we had really good mentors that helped us avoid the big glaring bad decisions. But what it really came down to was we loved the work so much and we couldn't even imagine making money. The thought of it being profitable was so out there to us, because we were so far away from that at the time, that it was really easy to be value driven when we weren't focused, because we didn't know how much money like we had. We didn't do any accounting. We still have like one of our favorite sayings is just like no projections, just like fuck projections, because they are the death of in our idea like creativity. As soon as you lock yourself into like having to perform based on these numbers that you've just made for yourselves. So we pretty much don't look at the money until we get a little ping from our bank if we go below a certain amount. And it's like, you guys don't have enough. You have to start saving and doing stuff, because we just want to make all our decisions from the heart, from what feels right. If we really do run into like a financial wall, we get together and we workshop how to deal with that.
I'm really blown away. It's so impressive that you are putting your values and creativity first and really following, as you said, your heart, your soul, and just trusting that the money will come in or you'll solve it. I absolutely love that. I just want to kind of go back to the mountain memories because I'm really curious. Did you have to renovate the farm?
Luckily for us, a lot of these old Japanese houses, especially the cheaper ones, come with a lot of baggage, both emotionally. You don't know what's happened in these old properties and like what kind of ghosts and spirits you have to deal with, but also they just leave like clutter everywhere. Because in the Japanese custom, collecting is the nice way to say it, but they hoard everything. And it's such a gift-giving consumeristic culture that you end up with so much stuff. But they had it completely cleared out. They had it in amazing condition. There were a few weird quirks. There was a urinal, which was definitely an interesting thing to have in a guest house our first season. We left it in there year one, but we only had super minor renovations to do. And that first season, the only thing we did was bring in furniture. So luckily, because my mom had been working in Bali for so long at this point, she put us in contact with amazing woodworkers. And Noah and I sat together at our old school, which we were giving a talk at. And I remember that morning we got there super early and we drew out almost every piece of furniture. And then we went and took it and had it all handmade before putting it in a shipping container and bringing it over here.
That is seriously cool.
It was super cool. I'm sitting right now on, I don't know if there's an easy way to show it, but it's like a beautiful big suar table. It's like one of these.
Wow, it's stunning.
Long. Yeah, it took 8 Swedes that were all guests to carry it in here with us.
Wow, it's so cool. It sounds like you're really living and breathing your values and just what you want to be creating, which is incredible. When did you have your first guest coming in?
Yeah, so it was crazy. We were so tight on money that in September, so the way that I got all of our guests for our first 2 seasons was I was just like a merchant on Facebook. And I joined every Facebook group relating to snow in the whole world. And then I would go through and I would do 4 hours a day that I would sort by newest. And any post regarding anything ski holiday, I was like, hey, why don't you guys come out to Japan? Hey, why don't you try Japan? And then that first year, a group of 15 Swedes posted I know it's super late notice. This was in September, but does anyone have a property that might be able to accommodate us all in Japan? I jumped on a call with him and I was like, Paul, I might have the perfect thing for you. I don't own the property yet. I don't quite know what it's going to look like, but I know that we'll have a month to renovate it before you arrive. And I would love to give you guys a big discount on it. And they sent us $25,000 before I'd even bought the property, which got us over the hump to actually be able to buy the place. And it just felt like synchronicity, and the world was really rooting for us at that point. But our furniture got held up at customs because when you ship furniture, you have to be so specific about what raw materials you're putting in. So we put teak wood, steel, and bamboo was our 3 raw materials. And then last minute, my mom had a box of her clothes. She was like, oh, I'll just throw this in the container. And that box of clothes cost a 6-week hang up that cost us $15,000. And I was literally getting pictures of her knickers from immigration, the docking lawyer. And he's like, I need to know the raw materials and cost and value of this. And I'm like, so for 2 weeks, the Swedes were sleeping on the floor with no couches, no coffee tables, a bare-boned house. They just made it work, and they were the best guests I could have ever asked for.
As you were saying that, I was getting goosebumps. That's incredible. It sounds like you had the momentum at that point that you knew would carry you forward. I'm really curious about the chaos you mentioned, because I can only imagine what it was like running the first couple of seasons. And a lot of my community and leaders, they can experience chaos in the workplace and high stress, high pressure. What were the 1 to 2 key strategies that help you to thrive while being in that kind of environment?
Well, that's a great question. While you were talking, the first thing that came to mind was just Noah. And he has a magical ability to just every room he goes in, he can like read the energy of the room and find a way to just be the person that you like feel most comfortable talking to, the person you find yourself laughing with. So for me, that first season, what was really, really nice is I didn't feel like I had to be on all the time. And even though I was happy to work 14-hour days, but my social battery just couldn't stand it. But I knew that as long as he was like out there with the guests, it didn't matter if the guests had nowhere to eat. Like as long as they were just eating pesto pasta on a floor, as long as Noah was in the room, I knew they'd be having the best time. So just having that trust in a partner and then also having an incredible team. So we had 3 graduates from our school come out, and all 3 of them are just the kind of dudes that you want to hang out with, you want to go ride with. And then the snow, like the quality of the snow here, it really does make all the difference. As long as people are riding POW every day, they don't care if they're sleeping on a bunk that wasn't built properly.
Yeah, and it all almost adds to the experience and to the story. I imagine you then go away and tell your friends that you had this like crazy trip in Japan. It makes it more fun.
It is a really good question, though. I wish I had a better answer for how I deal with stress, because I don't experience a ton of it, despite all the chaos. I think it's just, I love the chaos. That might actually be my strategy for dealing with it. Like, I'd say my biggest red flag growing up was that in all of my friendships and dynamics, I would create chaos because I was someone that knew how to operate within that. Like, if everything was falling apart, I was the person that could figure out the fastest how to put the pieces back together and how to like come out on top. And it led to really difficult dynamics growing up, but I think it's helped a lot in this business.
So do you feel that now you're in this scenario and you're building your own business and you're doing such a great job? Are you very solution focused? Because I kind of got the idea when you said that you were growing up in Bali and the question you said was like, what business will I create? Is that like the same questions you ask yourself now? If there's a problem, what is the solution? How will we solve the problem?
To be honest, I'm not the best problem solver. I would say I'm very good at finding people who are good problem solvers and like empowering them and making them feel like, oh, wow, I want to attack this problem. And so I've had people say to me afterwards, they're like, how did you get me to work on that for so long? I think that is the special piece to the puzzle, because I will get really frustrated and give up, but I'm much more the like big picture of it all. And I know that if you're doing it for the right reasons, the people will come to help you along the way.
I love that. And I think that's a very special talent, being able to empower and hype people up so then they show up as their best self and are able to do things that they doubted. That's really incredible to be able to do.
It just feels so good. Like this year, I remember I apologized to Noah at the end of the year. We were just like driving and reflecting. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry I was so distant to like you and to the guests. And I feel like I really let down the guest experience. And Noah was like, you're the reason our team had the time they had. Like, I was so focused. Every morning I'd wake up and every bit of free time I had, like the way that I went and tried to find joy was I wanted to find things for our team to do. And it never felt like a chore or a job. And I never even considered myself a manager. It was just what I loved, was spending time with them and doing fun stuff with them. And it was only in reflection, sitting with Noah, that I was like, oh, wow, that is the job of a manager. So I guess I did fall into that role and loved it.
Yeah, that's really cool. What I would love to talk about, because we're just coming to the end of our chat, which has been so wonderful, is have you had your reflection for this season?
Yeah.
You said you wanted to create a space where people can chase their own dreams. Is that the vision now moving forward for next season?
Yeah, very much so. So that is something that we're calling the Hustle House. And the idea behind the Hustle House, I might get a loopy with what I say next, but the big picture of it all is I really was hoping that eventually I can take this all to a not-for-profit model and have it be a place where people can come out and create for-profit businesses of their own within the ecosystem we're creating. So what I would love is for the property to eventually become like the ultimate wellness center retreat space that has a coffee shop and a like staff accommodation, a gym and a paddle court and a yoga shala and just like all of that stuff. So you could come here and it could be like a full retreat experience. The way that we're slowly working towards that is this year we had an amazing time with the guests. We were so focused on like the day-to-day chaos of check-ins, checkouts, lessons that we didn't get to actually like ride with our guests and share meals with them and go to the onsen, like the Japanese spa. So next year we're doing all-inclusive retreat style models so that we really get to like share that time with people, make those connections. And I just can't wait for that. Sounds like the dream.
That sounds absolutely incredible. A lot of my listeners and my community are skiers and snowboarders. Why should we come to Mountain Memories?
If you've never skied Japan, it's something that like has to be on the bucket list. Whether you come do it here or come do it somewhere else, I would say that is like a must. It is unreal. It's unlike anything I've ever done. And then for coming to Mountain Memories, I'd say if you really want to meet like-minded people that are passionate about meeting new people, finding new ways to like live your life with a focus on just joy and excitement and doing what you love, because those are the kind of people I'm looking for.
Oh, that's so cool. And now these are questions that I'm going to selfishly ask for myself. But I know I have friends who will also be interested and listeners. What attracted me is I was looking in Japan, but it was quite challenging to find somewhere where you really felt that you were getting your money's worth and you really got to experience Japan in an authentic way. And then I'm a single traveler, so you just don't know what kind of groups of people you're going for. And then I came across your Instagram and our values are quite similar. So I was like, okay, I really like these guys. They sound really fun and I love what they're creating. Can you come as a single person and join your retreat packages?
Yeah, I would say it's ideal as a single person. So we advertise most of our groups to single people. We do have family style trips, but most of our packages are aimed at over 18 is the only demographic we take. And it's really for people that do want to come meet new people, make new friends. On the Japan experience side, I would say Japan is such an incredible place with so much to offer. And we are definitely not the best place for that. Like the resort we have is incredible. The tree skiing is second to none. But if you are looking for a more Japanese experience, I would say there are some amazing places down south, and you may want to stay on the island of Honshu. Hokkaido is incredible to explore, but from my personal experience, you don't quite get that quintessential Japanese cultural experience.
My final question is, for those of us who have never skied Japan POW, do you do like lessons on how to ski powder?
The teaching outfit that we now have is something I'm incredibly proud of. And what I'm actually looking for right now is somebody where that is their sole passion. So I want someone to take over the ski school and just like run it and make it their baby. But we teach people how to ride powder, both on skis and snowboards. And then on all of our trips, we start with 3 guided days. So that's just like getting everyone accustomed to the different mountains. We chase wherever the best snow is. So there's 3 main mountains that we go to, just wherever has the POW. And then we help people get acclimatized and accustomed. But it is so forgiving that pretty much whatever your level is, you can have so much fun in it.
Well, I'm absolutely sold. I will be coming to you the next or this season. And my final question for you is, staying wild is all about how can we follow our wild true self? For those who are still a bit scared or a bit fearful or anxious to really embrace our wild self, do you have any thoughts or advice for them?
I would say something that's really helpful to me anytime I'm feeling a little bit more introverted or like I'm not ready for the big scary world, which I'm definitely someone that like I'm scared to show myself on social media. I'm not comfortable being on the face of everything. I look to my kind of idols, my mentors, the people I really look up to. And I just tell myself, I'm like, what they're doing isn't out of reach. Like it isn't that crazy. So I generally look for a model to like model my actions after. And then that's how I do it. And Noah's definitely the one that he keeps doing things that make me realize like, oh, I might be able to do that. I have my first ever camera. So hopefully I will be starting to make videos of my own very soon, which I'm excited about.
Oh, that's so cool. And I absolutely love that. I also do the same. When I look at where I want to go, I'm role modeling. I'm like, oh, okay, if they can do it, then it's possible for me too. So that is such a great trick and strategy. It has been so wonderful to have you on the podcast and to discover more about Mountain Memories and yourself and your journey. Really inspiring. For those who are interested in Mountain Memories, maybe for the upcoming season, or they just want to follow you and be inspired, where can they go and find you?
Yeah, thank you. MTN Memories on Instagram is definitely the best place to like stay up with all our content. And that really provides an accurate kind of depiction of what this place is like from an energy standpoint. So I think if you align with the videos on there, you will definitely have fun on a trip.
I can vouch for that because that's literally why I reached out to you. As I was like, I love the vibe on your Instagram page. I have to meet these guys. So definitely go and follow them, and I'll put the link in the show notes. And just thank you so much for coming. It was a really inspiring and energizing conversation. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning into Staying Wild. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It helps so much to get this podcast out there. I hope you enjoyed the guided visualization and the conversation with Henry. Everything is in the show notes below. Have a wonderful day and stay wild.